Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back, classroom. We're here for another fun day of some math. A little fun before we get into that. I'm feeling pretty good because I'm feeling a little less hairy, which is a positive thing. I'm pretty sure it was getting a little out of control. But today, again, we got some math to do. Let's start off. Got some fun stuff to open up. Uh-oh, one of them already fell out. We got some teeny mates, some baseball guys. We got Giants. Busta Posey hanging out in the class today. Got one more in here. See who else is coming to hang out with us. Oh, little Texas Ranger action. Little Joey Gallo. Hey. The little guys can hang out here with Groot, with Sponge Guard. Got one more. Do a little extra opening. Got a Harry Potter bag clip. Oh, wait, when all this is over, somebody's got to take these bag clips from me. There are way too many already. Who we got? Could be anybody. Oh, it's a mystery one, which means I don't know who this is. Oh no. If you do, let me know, please, because that'd be fantastic. First one in the class can get a little recognition for it. Appears a mermaid? I don't know, I'm not the biggest Harry Potter person. But whoever knows, feel free to pass along the information. Always start off with a little opening up something fun. Disney pins for today, of course. Pinocchio hanging out. Pretty cool pin. And little Peter Pan Mickey Mouse ears. I feel like some good midweek pins. Good midweek option. Those two. Oh, we got to do a quote of the day, of course. Our throwback quote of the day, of course. My loyalty cannot be bought. Rented? Yes. That's a fun one. And for today, I'm totally missing the zippity part to my doodah day. Hopefully your day's a little better than that. And maybe get better because you're doing a little math and getting a little extra help on our work for algebra and pre-algebra. Really excited for our lessons today. We all got the new Edgenuity material up, ready to go. So we're going to have some new lessons on that material coming soon. But at this point, we've done some pins. We've done some opened up. Oh, I said we're going to do something interesting, something fun. 1 second. Many years ago, I was a senior in high school. I know a lot of people are posting their pictures of their senior photo to support the class of 2020, not getting to have all the normal senior year things. So for your viewing entertainment, that's a senior picture of Mr. Jerkins right there. Look at that handsome devil. Not really. Leesburg High School, class of 03. There might be some other pictures popping up in and out of today's lessons. Alrighty. That's a nice embarrassing picture on top of the normal stuff. I think it's time for some math. Let's go to the board. Okay, now, Chewie, other Star Wars characters, Scrooge McDuck, pay attention. This will be on the quiz. All right, we're back, algebra guys. Welcome back to our video. This should be a little familiar. We've been working with quadratics on Edgenuity so far, and we're continuing that now. We talked about a lot about graphing in the last couple sections. We're talking about solving the equations now. We did a little bit of that in some of those previous videos, but we're going to go a little more in depth with a couple of properties, a couple of ways to solve our quadratic equations. Today, our topic is the zero product property. Now, it's one of the easiest properties to remember in mathematics. It really is. Because the whole property says that if A times B equals 0, if two numbers multiplied together equal 0, then either A has to equal 0 or B has to equal 0. You learned that back in 3rd grade. It was probably the easiest multiplication test you took when you did your 0 times tables. Because 0 times anything equals, anybody? What? Yeah, anything times 0 equals 0. So I know if two numbers are multiplied together and the product is 0, that one of my numbers being multiplied has to be 0. Let's do a problem like this. If I've got x minus 2 times x plus 3, again, we've got two numbers being multiplied together. The product is 0. I don't like that bit anyways. But the product of these two binomials is 0, which means one of the two has to be 0. So we can actually solve this equation out using our zero product property, because we know that if these are multiplied together to equal 0, then either x minus 2 has to equal 0, or x plus 3 has to equal 0. One of these statements has to be true for this equation to be true. We can solve each of these out pretty simply. They're just one-step equations. Add 2, subtract 3 over here. X equals 2, or x has to equal negative 3 for this equation. That's how we're able to use our zero product property to solve quadratic equations. If we could break down a quadratic trinomial, or an equation that contains a quadratic, into some type of factors, we can then solve for the factors. So we're going to do a couple practice problems together and look at another example with this, and then we'll be done for the day.
So here's another picture from my senior year back in 2003, playing baseball over at LHS.
As I said, our zero product property we can use to solve these equations here. These equations, we've got, in this case, 2x times 3x plus 5 equals 0. For this to be a true math statement, either 2x has to equal 0 or 3x plus 5 has to equal 0. So knowing that and applying our zero product property, we've now got two equations we can solve pretty easily to find our answers to this equation, or find our solutions for the equation. Here we divide by 2, x equals 0, or subtract 5, (3x equals negative 5). Now, we've done this video before, we've learned this before, solving equations. Right here, we need to find out what 1x equals. We divide by our coefficient. X equals negative 5/3, or x equals 0. These will be my solutions to the problem. Now, put one of our special cases here. We've got x plus 6 squared equals 0. I only see one binomial. But because of the exponent, I know that another way I could write this equation would be x plus 6 times x plus 6. Because anytime we're squaring a number, we're squaring something, we're just multiplying the base times itself. I've got the same binomial being multiplied together. So do I need to solve twice? Because whatever makes this equal 0 is also going to make this binomial equal 0. Subtract 6 from both sides of the equation. Get x equals negative 6. In this case, even though we have a quadratic, it could have two solutions, we only have one solution, which is okay. We're going to look at one other way we can apply the zero product property in just a second, and then we are done for today. All right, real quick again, of course, as always, gotta thank the siblings, these guys right here, the ones that show up every day, eager to do math with you, excited for what they get to learn. So Becca, Nelson, Anthony, Ross, love you guys. Y'all rock. Right, now, another phrase we can use for our solutions to our equations, we're talking about our quadratics, is we call them the zeros of our function, or zeros of the equation. So another way we can apply this property is if we know the zeros, if we know the solutions, we can actually write the quadratic equation using a little bit of work here. So our problem we're going to look at, what quadratic equation has zeros of 5 and negative 2/3? What that's telling us is what we ended up at in the last couple questions. We know that either x equals 5 or x equals negative 2/3. What we need to do is rewrite these two equations so that they're set equal to 0. In this case, subtract 5 from both sides. I've got x minus 5, because we can't combine those terms, they're not like terms, equals 0. X equals negative 2/3. Everybody hates fractions still, right? Nobody's developed an affinity for fractions, really just found out that during our time away and social distancing that fractions have become your friend. Anybody? No? It's okay. We can get rid of those fractions here. We're going to multiply both sides of this equation here by 3. So that would cancel out. We get 3x equals negative 2. Add 2 to both sides of the equation. 3x plus 2 equals 0. We now know two binomials that are set equal to 0 here, using what we've already learned. We can use those to write an equation. X minus 5 times 3x plus 2 equals 0. Parentheses in the right place. Now we can leave this equation like it is set up here, or we can use our FOIL method here and actually expand this into a quadratic trinomial. So we multiply x times 3x, we get 3x squared. X times 2 plus 2x. Negative 5 times 3x is negative 15x. And negative 5 times negative 2 minus 10 equals 0. Now we combine our like terms. We got 2x and negative 15x. 3x squared minus 13x minus 10 equals 0. This would be the quadratic equation that has zeros of 5 and negative 2/3. These are the two values, if I plug them in for x, would produce an equation that equals 0. So product property, worked it backwards. I think we're about done for the day. Okay, so time to go. I know you're all sad, math is done, but don't worry, there'll be more math to come. It's been a while since we played bum ball, so go ahead and we'll throw this out there again. I know I win a lot. I'm pretty good at this game. But all you gotta do is catch the ball and you win. Ready? You want? See, still, this belt stays here for a reason. We'll see y'all in the next video. Have a great day.